From the movement of celestial bodies to the path your stock is going to take, at Newton Investing, we provide you with the best tools to stay ahead in the market and make a lot of money.
We know who you are, Mr. Einstein.
Oh, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting better returns? Invest with Einstein Investments, a SEBI-promoted intermediary, to achieve outstanding returns.
Again, neither your claims nor your registration is true, Mr. Einstein. You might have come across one of these situations, or both, where an unregistered entity is impersonating a registered intermediary, or another entity is making false promises to investors. Both of these issues stem from a third issue, a lack of verification. So how can an investor ensure that the website or app they are using is genuine, or that the ad they saw on social media or the message they received on a messaging app is from a registered intermediary? Observe closely, these malpractices are for financial gain. Therefore, having a verification mechanism at the payment stage could resolve all three issues in one go. To protect the interests of investors, SEBI introduces valid UPI IDs. These UPI IDs will be exclusively available to the SEBI-registered verified intermediaries and will be allocated by banks only after verification through a secure and separate pipeline being created by SEBI for verification. Now, an investor would be able to verify the authenticity of a SEBI-registered intermediary by checking at valid in the UPI ID while sending the money. In our case, the username would comprise an easy-to-identify name, followed by the category suffix they belong to help investors identify the capacity of registration, such as broker, mutual fund or advisory. The handle would appear like this. Since the handles can only be allocated by NPCI and function at the bank or app level, they will only be available to selected syndicate banks already associated with SEBI. An analysis of the top 11 brokers indicates that about 98% of investors transfer 5 lakh rupees or less per day, which is the upper limit of UPI currently. All UPI transfers to intermediaries will shift to these new standard handles only. However, this will not affect existing SIPs being processed using the older handles, but all future SIPs initiated will need to use the new handles only. The investors will be free to choose UPI or any other payment method they prefer. These standardized, unique UPI IDs are only the face of the implementation. For effective functioning, Mr. A should not be able to obtain a handle that sounds like Mr. B. Most importantly, investors should be able to take these as a single source of truth, which no unscrupulous actor should be able to bypass in any manner. We are ensuring this by leveraging technology with a unique 5-pillar architecture. We call this technological architecture Vajra, which stands for Validation and Automatic Joint Reconciliation Architecture. The first pillar is a standard data entry utility that ensures the usernames adhere to the standard convention and are free of any typographical errors. This is based on a background algorithm that generates them using the intermediary's own registered name or trademark, followed by the category and bank handle. The intermediary can access this utility to request a UPI ID only after securely accessing a separate pipeline being developed in the SEBI's intermediary portal. Requests received from the intermediaries will be automatically sorted and will be sent to the respective banks. The second pillar, enhanced intermediary verification, ensures banks can confirm that their client is an actual intermediary registered with SEBI. Here, banks access the request for allocation of UPI IDs with newer handles from intermediaries through a secured interface provided by SEBI. Previously, banks used to rely on physical documents and, similar to investors, they also did not have any other, more secure manner to check the authenticity of the intermediary registration. This stage ensures that the requests they are receiving are only from verified, registered intermediaries. The bank now just needs to allocate the requested UPI ID in its own system and confirm each request. But how does a bank know if there are changes at SEBI's end in the status of an intermediary after the allocation, or what if there are changes at the bank's end itself? Here comes our third pillar, an automatic bidirectional flow of data using APIs between SEBI and syndicate banks. This also ensures further transparency. In case a record is in the bank's data, but not in SEBI's system, an alert will be sent to the bank highlighting the mismatch. But what if someone still gets access to one of these handles? How can SEBI find out if any such handle exists and, most importantly, how to ensure investors' trust never shakes in these handles? We went an extra mile by erecting the fourth pillar of Vajra. Every day, NPCI will share the list of pay UPI IDs under at valid handles with SEBI, and an automatic system similar to the bank's one will identify any non-existent UPI ID in our database. In case it finds one, it will automatically send an alert to the respective bank and NPCI email IDs. There was still one problem to solve, which is the human side. If the bad actor puts valid before the at, or if the person is a non-English speaker or not very tech-savvy, What then? The fifth pillar of Vajra makes this strong and secure technology more accessible to the common investor in their own language. We are making a utility called SEBI Check available on the SEBI website. This utility will be available in multiple languages, similar to SEBI's toll-free helpline. The user would be able to verify the authenticity of a UPI ID just by using a picture or scanning an intermediary's QR code. Additionally, the SEBI Check also provides the functionality to verify the bank account number and IFSC. To check a UPI ID, one just needs to click this button, and similar to other UPI scanning, they would be able to check it. The correct validated UPI will be shown in green text with an option to copy it directly to be pasted into any of the UPI or bank apps. In case of an invalid UPI, the text would appear red, indicating a warning to the investor. Similarly, investors would also be able to verify the bank account number and IFSC using the registration number of the respective entity against the verified database.